What if I told you that the biggest thing holding you back isn't your circumstances, your lack of resources, or even your skills? It's something far simpler and far more dangerous. It's your inability to take action. And here's the truth. No amount of motivation, inspiration, or dreaming will ever replace the power of simply doing. But why is it so hard to start? And how do you force yourself to take action when everything in you wants to stay stuck? Let's break it down. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. But here's the problem. Most of us spend our lives stuck on one side of that bridge. We dream, we plan, we overthink, but we don't do. And the longer we wait, the harder it gets. The good news? Taking action isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or feeling ready. It's about understanding the forces that hold you back and learning how to push through them. Today we're going to explore how to force yourself to take action, even when it feels impossible. Let's get started. The myth of motivation. Let's talk about something that's been holding a lot of people back for far too long, the idea that you need motivation to take action. This is one of the biggest myths out there, and it's time to set the record straight. Motivation is not the starting point. It's not the spark that gets you going. In fact, motivation is the result of action, not the cause. Let me explain. Think about it. When was the last time you woke up feeling completely motivated to do something hard? Maybe it was going to the gym, starting a new project, or having a difficult conversation. Chances are you didn't wake up with this overwhelming sense of inspiration. More likely you felt resistance. You felt tired, unsure, or even afraid, and that's normal. But here's the thing. If you wait for motivation to show up before you start, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, motivation doesn't come. First, action does. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you create momentum. And momentum is what leads to motivation. It's like pushing a car that's stuck in the mud. The first push is the hardest. But once the wheels start turning, it gets easier. The same principle applies to your life. You don't need to feel motivated to start. You just need to start, and the motivation will follow. Now, let's break this down a little further. Why do we fall for this myth in the first place? Why do we think we need to feel inspired before we can take action? Part of it comes from how we're wired. We're emotional creatures, and we want to feel good about what we're doing. We want to feel excited, energized, and ready to conquer the world. But here's the problem. Life doesn't always work that way. Most of the time, the things that matter, the things that will move the needle in your life, are hard. They're uncomfortable. They require effort, discipline, and consistency. And those things don't always feel good in the moment. So, what's the solution? How do you break free from the myth of motivation and start taking action? It starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of waiting to feel motivated, focus on building habits. Habits are the secret weapon of high achievers. When something becomes a habit, you don't need motivation to do it. It just becomes part of your routine. For example, if you want to get in shape, don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect workout plan. Just start. Go for a walk. Do 5 push-ups. Do something, no matter how small, and let the momentum build from there. Another key is to stop overthinking. Overthinking is the enemy of action. The more you analyze, plan, and second-guess yourself, the harder it becomes to start. Instead, focus on simplicity. Break your goal down into the smallest possible step and take it. Don't worry about the big picture right now. Just focus on what you can do today. And finally, remember this. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But discipline is constant. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation runs out. So, don't rely on motivation to carry you through. Rely on your ability to take action even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, because that's where real progress happens. In the end, the myth of motivation is just that, a myth. You don't need to feel inspired to start. You just need to start. Take that first step, no matter how small, and let the momentum carry you forward. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. So, stop waiting, start doing, and watch how your life begins to change. 2. The cost of waiting. Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention: the cost of waiting. Every day you wait to take action, you're paying a price. And it's not just about lost time. It's about lost opportunities, lost confidence, and lost progress. The longer you delay, the heavier the weight of inaction becomes. And here's the kicker: the cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of starting. Think about it. What's the one thing you've been putting off? Maybe it's starting a business, pursuing a passion, or having a difficult conversation. Whatever it is, every day you wait, you're losing something. You're losing the chance to grow, to learn, and to move closer to your goals. And here's the hard truth: time doesn't stop. The world doesn't wait for you to get ready. While you're hesitating, life is moving forward, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets to start. Now, let's break this down. Why do we wait? What's really going on when we delay taking action? A lot of it comes down to fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And those fears are real. They're valid. But here's the thing: fear doesn't go away on its own. The only way to overcome fear is to face it. And the longer you wait, the bigger the fear becomes. Another reason we wait is perfectionism. We want everything to be just right before we start. We want the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions. But here's the reality: perfection is an illusion. There's no such thing as the perfect moment. There's only now. And if you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll be waiting forever. So, what's the cost of waiting? Let's start with the obvious: time. Time is the one resource you can't get back. Every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. And while you're waiting, other people are moving forward. They're taking risks, making mistakes, and learning from them. They're building momentum while you're stuck in neutral. But it's not just about time. It's also about confidence. Every day you wait, your confidence takes a hit. The more you delay, the more you doubt yourself. You start to wonder if you're capable, if you're good enough, if you're ready. And those doubts can become self-fulfilling prophecies. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to believe in yourself. And then there's the cost of missed opportunities. Life is full of opportunities, but they don't last forever. The longer you wait, the more opportunities pass you by. Maybe it's a job opening, a chance to connect with someone, or a moment to make a difference. Whatever it is, once it's gone, it's gone. And you're left wondering what could have been. So, what's the solution? How do you stop waiting and start taking action? It starts with awareness. Recognize the cost of waiting. Understand what you're losing by not starting. And then make a decision. Decide that the cost of waiting is too high. Decide that you're not willing to pay that price anymore. Next, focus on progress, not perfection. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Just start. Take the first step, no matter how small. Remember, action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. And finally, remind yourself of this: the cost of starting is always lower than the cost of waiting. Yes, starting is hard. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. But it's also the only way to move forward, the only way to grow, the only way to create the life you want. So ask yourself, what's the price of staying where you are? What are you losing by not taking that first step? The answer might just shock you into action. Because here's the truth: the cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of starting. So stop waiting, start doing, and watch how your life begins to change. 3. The power of decision. Let's talk about something that has the power to change everything in your life: the power of decision. Action doesn't start with motivation, inspiration, or even a plan. It starts with a decision, a real decision. Not a vague wish, not a half-hearted hope, but a firm, clear, and unwavering decision. When you decide, something shifts. You cut off all other options. You stop debating, stop hesitating, and start moving. But here's the thing: decisions are hard. They're hard because they require commitment. And commitment means taking responsibility for the outcome. So, let's break this down. What does it mean to make a real decision? It means you're all in. You're not just thinking about it. You're not just considering it. You're committing to it. You're saying, this is what I'm going to do, no matter what. And That's where the magic happens. Because once you make a decision, the universe starts to align with you. Opportunities show up, resources become available, and most importantly, you start to take action. But here's the problem. Most people never make a real decision. They stay stuck in the land of maybe. They say things like, I'll try, or I'll think about it, or I'll see how it goes. And as long as they stay there, nothing changes. Because maybe is the enemy of progress. Maybe keeps you stuck. Maybe is what keeps you from taking that first step. So why is it so hard to make a decision? Part of it comes down to fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And those fears are real. They're valid. But here's the thing. Fear doesn't go away on its own. The only way to overcome fear is to face it. And the only way to face it is to make a decision. Another reason decisions are hard is because they require sacrifice. When you decide to do one thing, you're also deciding not to do something else. And that can be uncomfortable. It means letting go of other options, other possibilities, other paths. But here's the truth, you can't have it all. You can't chase every opportunity, pursue every goal, or follow every dream. At some point, you have to choose. You have to decide what's most important to you and go all in. So how do you make a real decision? It starts with clarity. Get clear on what you want and why you want it. What's your goal? What's your purpose? Why does it matter? When you're clear on your why, your what becomes much easier. Next, take responsibility. Understand that a decision is a commitment. It's a promise to yourself, and it's up to you to keep that promise. No one else can do it for you. No one else can take the action for you. It's your responsibility. And finally, take the first step. A decision without action is just a wish. So once you've made the decision, act on it. Do something, no matter how small, to move closer to your goal. Because action is what turns a decision into reality. Now, let's bring this home. What's one decision you've been avoiding? What's one thing you need to commit to? Right here, right now. Maybe it's starting a new project, ending a toxic relationship, or pursuing a long-held dream. Whatever it is, make the decision. Cut off all other options. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. And start moving. Because here's the truth. The power of decision is the power to change your life. It's the power to take control, to create momentum, and to move forward. So, don't wait. Don't hesitate. Make the decision, and the action will follow, and watch how your life begins to change. The 2-minute rule. Let's talk about a simple trick that can help you overcome procrastination and force yourself into action, the 2-minute rule. Here's how it works. If something feels overwhelming, just commit to doing it for 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes. Why does this work? Because starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, it's easier to keep going. Think about it. How many times have you put off doing something because it felt too big, too hard, or too time-consuming? Maybe it was writing that email, cleaning your room, or starting a workout. The task felt overwhelming, so you avoided it. But here's the thing. The hardest part isn't the task itself. It's starting. Once you start, the momentum kicks in. And that's where the 2-minute rule comes in. The 2-minute rule is based on a simple principle. Small actions lead to big results. When you commit to doing something for just 2 minutes, you remove the pressure. You take away the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of the unknown. Because 2 minutes is easy, 2 minutes is manageable, 2 minutes is something you can do right now, no matter how you feel. So how do you use the 2-minute rule? Let's break it down. First, identify the task you've been avoiding. What's the one thing you keep putting off? Maybe it's writing a report, organizing your closet, or starting a new habit. Whatever it is, commit to doing it for just 2 minutes. Next, set a timer. Literally. Set a timer for 2 minutes and start. Don't overthink it. Don't analyze it. Just start. And here's the magic. Once you start, you'll often find that you want to keep going. Those 2 minutes turn into 5, 10, or even 20. Because starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, the rest is easier. Now let's talk about why this works. The 2-minute rule works because it tricks your brain. When you think about a big task, your brain sees it as a threat. It feels overwhelming, so you avoid it. But when you break it down into a small, manageable step, your brain sees it as a challenge. And challenges are something you can handle. Another reason the 2-minute rule works is because it builds momentum. Momentum is powerful. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. It's like pushing a car that's stuck in the mud. The first push is the hardest, but once the wheels start turning, it gets easier. The same principle applies to your life. The first step is the hardest, but once you take it, the rest becomes easier. So how can you apply the 2-minute rule in your life? Let's look at a few examples. If you've been putting off exercise, commit to doing just 2 minutes of stretching or walking. If you've been avoiding a big project, commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. If you've been procrastinating on cleaning, commit to cleaning for just 2 minutes. The key is to start small. Don't worry about the big picture right now. Just focus on the next 2 minutes. Because here's the truth. Small actions, repeated over time, create massive results. It's called the compound effect. Every step you take, no matter how small, adds up. And finally, remember this. The 2-minute rule isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about taking that first step no matter how small. Because progress, no matter how slow, is still movement. And movement is what creates change. So, what's the one thing you've been putting off? What's the one task that feels overwhelming? Commit to doing it for just 2 minutes. Set a timer, start, and let the momentum carry you forward. Because here's the truth. The hardest part is starting. And once you start, the rest becomes easier. So stop waiting. Start doing. And watch how your life begins to change. The role of discipline is not about perfection. It is not about never making mistakes, never feeling tired, or never being tempted by distractions. No, discipline is about something far greater. It is about consistency. It is about doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like it. Because let's face it, there will be days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Days when you would rather stay in bed, put off your tasks, or push your responsibilities to another day. And those are the days when discipline must take over. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The less you use it, the weaker it becomes. Imagine if you went to the gym once, lifted a heavy weight, and expected to be in peak physical condition. Ridiculous, right? Discipline works the same way. You have to build it, strengthen it, and condition it every single day. And here's the key. You do not have to start big. Start small. Set a goal so easy, so simple that you cannot say no. Maybe it is waking up 10 minutes earlier. Maybe it is reading just 1 page of a book. Maybe it is drinking an extra glass of water each day. Whatever it is, make it easy. Do it consistently. No excuses, no exceptions. And as you build that habit, you build the discipline that will carry you through bigger challenges. Now, some people think discipline is a punishment, that it is restrictive, that it takes the joy out of life. But let me tell you something. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. It is the freedom to take control of your life, to shape your future, to break free from the chains of procrastination and laziness. Discipline gives you choices. Discipline allows you to wake up each morning with confidence, knowing that you are in charge of your actions, your habits, and your results. Because without discipline, life controls you. Your emotions control you. Your bad habits control you. And you find yourself stuck in a cycle of excuses, delays, and regret. So what is the secret to discipline? Commitment. Not motivation, not inspiration, but commitment. Because motivation fades. Inspiration comes and goes. But commitment, that is what will push you through when you do not feel like it. And here's another truth. Discipline is contagious. Once you build it in one area of your life, it spreads. You start eating healthier, and suddenly you feel more productive. You start exercising, and suddenly your mind is sharper. One good habit leads to another, and before you know it, you have built a life of strength, control, and success. So make the decision today. Strengthen that discipline muscle. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how your life changes. Discipline is not about restriction. It is about power. The power to live the life you want, on your terms. The fear of failure. One of the greatest obstacles standing between you and your goals. How many dreams have been buried? How many opportunities lost simply because of the fear of failing? And yet, failure itself is not the real problem. No, the real enemy is inaction. The real danger is standing still while life moves forward. Here's the truth. Failure is not final. Failure is feedback. It is a lesson. It is information. It is the universe saying, try again, but do it differently this time. So why do we fear it? Why do we let the possibility of failure stop us from even trying? Most of the time, it is because we imagine the worst-case scenario. We build up this idea in our heads that if we fail, it will be the end of everything. But let's be honest, what is the worst that could happen? If you try and fail, will the world end? Will your life be over? No. In most cases, the consequences are far less severe than we make them out to be. And even if they are difficult, even if they are painful, you will survive. You will learn. You will grow. And the next time, you will be stronger. Some of the most successful people in history have failed over and over again. But do you know what they did? They got back up. They learned. They adapted. Thomas Edison famously failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. These are not stories of failure. These are stories of persistence, stories of resilience, stories of people who refuse to let failure define them. So what is stopping you? What is holding you back? Is it the fear of what others will think? The fear of looking foolish? Let me tell you something. People are too busy worrying about their own lives to be concerned with your failures. And even if they do notice, so what? Their opinions do not determine your success. Their words do not shape your future. Your actions do. Now here's the key to overcoming the fear of failure. Take action anyway. Feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then move forward despite it. Start before you are ready. Take that risk. Make that decision. Will you fail sometimes? Absolutely. But that is not the end. It is just the beginning of a new lesson, a new opportunity, a new path. Think about this. What if you never try? What if you let fear control you for the rest of your life? What will that cost you? The regret of never knowing what could have been. That is far worse than any failure. Because failure can be corrected. Failure can be overcome. But regret? That stays with you. That is the real tragedy. So make the choice today. Choose courage over fear. Choose action over hesitation. Choose growth over comfort. Because the only true failure is never trying at all. The importance of clarity: imagine setting out on a journey, but you have no map, no clear destination, and no sense of direction. You just start driving, hoping that somehow, somewhere, you'll end up in the right place. That sounds like a frustrating way to travel, doesn't it? Yet this is exactly how so many people go through life. They take action without clarity, moving but not progressing, busy but not productive, always in motion but never really getting anywhere meaningful. Clarity is the starting point of all achievement. It is the guiding force that determines the quality of your actions. Without it, effort is wasted, energy is scattered, and results are unpredictable. But when you are clear on what you want, why you want it, and how you intend to achieve it, everything begins to change. The fog lifts, the path appears, the obstacles shrink in significance. So let's get clear. What do you want? That's the first question you must answer. Not in vague general terms, but in specific, measurable terms. A goal that isn't clear is a wish, not a goal. If you say, I want to be successful, that's not enough. What does success mean to you? How will you measure it? Will it be financial freedom, a healthy body, strong relationships, a thriving business? You need to define it in detail, but knowing what you want is only half the battle. You must also understand why you want it. This is where the real power lies. Your why is your Fuel. It's what keeps you going when challenges arise, when motivation fades, and when things don't go as planned. A weak why leads to weak commitment. A strong why creates unstoppable determination. Ask yourself, why does this goal matter to me? What will it mean for my life? What impact will it have on the people around me? The deeper you go with these questions, the more clarity you gain and the stronger your drive becomes. Because when your why is powerful enough, your how becomes much easier. You'll find solutions where others see roadblocks. You'll persist where others quit. You'll take action where others hesitate. And speaking of action, clarity fuels action. Once you know what you want and why you want it, taking the first step becomes simple. Not necessarily easy, but simple. The reason most people hesitate is not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity. They overthink, doubt, and second-guess themselves because they haven't fully defined their destination. But when your goal is clear, your decisions become easier, your actions become more focused, and your progress becomes inevitable. So, take the time to define your goals, write them down, make them specific. Instead of saying, I want to get in shape, say, I will lose 20 pounds in 6 months by exercising 4 times a week and following a healthy diet. Instead of saying, I want to grow my business, say, I will increase my revenue by 30% this year by acquiring 10 new clients and launching 2 new marketing campaigns. The clearer your vision, the easier it becomes to take action. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum, and momentum creates success. So, if you want to achieve your goals, start with clarity. Define your purpose, understand your why, and then take action with unwavering focus. Because when you are clear, nothing can stop you. The compound effect success is not built in a day. It's built daily, brick by brick, step by step, action by action. This is the power of the compound effect. Here's something you need to understand. Small actions, repeated consistently over time, create massive results. Most people underestimate this truth. They look for the big breakthrough, the instant transformation, the overnight success. But success doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time, and it's the little things done repeatedly that make the biggest difference. Think about it. If you read for just 15 minutes a day, in 1 year, you will have completed over 20 books. If you save just $5 a day in 1 year, you will have saved over $1,100. If you exercise for 30 minutes a day in 1 year, you will have spent over 180 hours improving your health. These small habits on their own might seem insignificant, but over time, they compound into something extraordinary. The problem is most people don't see immediate results, so they give up too soon. They go to the gym for a week, don't see a six-pack, and quit. They start a new business, don't make millions in the first 6 months, and quit. They invest in their personal growth, don't see instant change, and quit. But success doesn't work that way. It's not about big leaps. It's about small, consistent steps. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, protect it, and over time, it grows into something incredible. The same is true for any goal you want to achieve. Every small action you take is a seed planted. And if you keep nurturing those actions with consistency, they will grow into results beyond your imagination. So don't underestimate the power of small daily actions. If you want to improve your health, don't focus on the end goal of losing 50 pounds. Focus on making better food choices today. If you want financial freedom, don't stress about making $1 million. Focus on saving and investing wisely today. If you want a better relationship, don't worry about fixing everything overnight. Focus on one small act of kindness today. Progress is progress, no matter how small. And the key is consistency. One workout won't get you in shape, but working out regularly will. One healthy meal won't change your body, but making healthy choices consistently will. One act of kindness won't transform a relationship, but showing up with love every day will. The compound effect works both ways. Just as small positive actions lead to success, small negative actions lead to failure. Skipping one workout doesn't seem like a big deal until it turns into a habit of skipping workouts. Eating one unhealthy meal won't hurt until it becomes a lifestyle. Wasting a little money here and there doesn't seem like much until you realize you're drowning in debt. Every small choice matters. And over time, those choices create your reality. So here's the secret. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Trust the compound effect. Keep taking small, consistent actions even when you don't see immediate results. Because if you stay the course, the results will come. It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. Stay patient, stay consistent, keep taking action. Because success is not built in a day, it's built daily. The role of environment. Your environment is either your greatest ally or your silent enemy. It's working for you or against you, whether you realize it or not. Success is not just about personal willpower, it's about the world you construct around you. If your environment is filled with distractions, negativity, and obstacles, you'll struggle. If it's designed for productivity, positivity, and growth, you'll thrive. Take a moment and examine the space you live in, work in, and spend most of your time in. Look at your desk, your home, your office, your social circles. Is this environment pushing you forward or holding you back? Is it making success easy, or is it making it an uphill battle? Often, people believe they lack motivation when, in reality, they are simply battling an environment that is designed to slow them down. A cluttered workspace is a cluttered mind. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to focus when your desk is covered with papers, distractions, and unfinished tasks staring back at you? Your surroundings should be a reflection of your goals. If you want clarity, create a space that promotes clarity. If you want energy, design an environment that stimulates energy. If you want to be inspired, surround yourself with objects, books, and images that uplift you. Now, let's talk about the people in your environment. Who are you spending the most time with? Are they pushing you to be better, or are they pulling you down? There's an old saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain, procrastinate, or settle for mediocrity, it's going to be difficult for you to rise above. But if you spend time with those who challenge themselves, who strive for excellence, who take action, that energy will become contagious. Think about this. A tree cannot grow in bad soil. It doesn't matter how much potential it has. If the soil lacks nutrients, if the roots can't go deep, the tree will struggle. The same is true for you. Your mind, your body, your goals, they need good soil. They need a supportive environment. So ask yourself, what in your environment is toxic? What is draining your energy, stealing your focus, and keeping you from taking action? Is it endless scrolling on social media? Is it negative conversations? Is it a lack of structure in your daily routine? Here's what you can do. Start small. Clean your workspace. Remove distractions. Set boundaries with negative influences. Spend more time with people who inspire you. Create an environment that supports your ambition, not one that works against it. Success is not just about willpower. It's about setting yourself up to win. And that begins with the environment you choose. The final push. When it all comes down to it, success is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making a decision. A decision to stop waiting. A decision to start moving. A decision to act not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Too many people are waiting. Waiting for motivation, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for confidence. And as they wait, time passes. Days turn into months. Months turn into years. And before they know it, they are looking back, wondering why they never started. But here's the truth. You don't need more time. You don't need more resources. You don't need more motivation. What you need is action. One small action. One step forward. Because action is the great catalyst. Once you move, momentum begins. And momentum is powerful. Think about it. The hardest part of any journey is the first step. It's the resistance before movement. But the moment you start, the moment you break the stillness, everything changes. The mind shifts. the energy shifts. You move from hesitation to progress. You stop thinking and start doing. And when you start doing, the next step becomes easier. The next opportunity reveals itself. The confidence you thought you needed before starting, it comes after action, not before. So, what's one thing you can do today, right now, to move forward? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's writing down a plan. Maybe it's going for a run. Maybe it's turning off distractions and focusing on one meaningful task. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you move. Fear, doubt, and regret, they all thrive in inaction. They grow when you hesitate. But when you take action, even the smallest action, you weaken them. You show them that you are in control, that you decide, that you are not waiting for life to happen to you. You are making life happen. So, no more waiting, no more excuses, no more hoping that things will magically change. Change happens when you move. Success happens when you act. Take the first step. Force yourself to start, and watch as everything begins to shift in your favor. Taking action isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or feeling ready. It's about understanding the forces that hold you back. Fear, procrastination, lack of clarity, and learning how to push through them. Start small, make a decision, build discipline, and trust the process. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. So, stop waiting. Start doing. Your future self will thank you.